Hey everyone, I'm out here at the hive. It is Sunday, February 20th. It's about 67, 68 degrees outside. It's pretty windy, so I do apologize for the wind noise that you might be hearing on the mic. It's not as bad here in this wooded area as it is out in the open, but it is still getting a good breeze through here. So if there's a lot of wind noise, I apologize in advance. But what we're going to do today is get into the hive and see what's going on basically. So it's a late winter inspection. Spring is just around the corner. I want to check on the fondant that we have in there because later this week we are going to have some freezing days, 4 in a row actually. And the other thing I want to check for is brood. When I was in here 2 weeks ago, there was no brood at all, not even any eggs. So I just want to get in there, take a look around, see if they've started to brood up. I did notice that they are bringing in a little bit of pollen. So let's take a look. Alright, there shouldn't be much up in this top box. Yeah, there's just a few, about like last time. They haven't moved up yet. Alright, there's our fondant. You can see we still have a good amount left. They have eaten the hole right there in the middle. And it's pretty thin, I can tell through here. I'm going to go ahead and smoke them a little bit. Take this feeder shim off. Alright, get my frame hanger over here on this side. Okay. Alright, now we got to get this sugar out of here, this fondant, without making a giant mess. Alright, I'm back. So basically my advice on that, if you're using that fondant, just treat it like a band-aid and just rip it right off of there. It's a little bit easier than trying to methodically peel it off. So, and it just left a little bit on the top bars and just scraped it off. I'm going to start on this side because I know there's no bees or honey down here. Empty comb. Same here, I believe. Yep. Starting to get into some bees now, but this is empty. And this is pretty heavy, so we're getting into the honey stores here. Yeah, decent cluster on the honey right there. This side doesn't really have anything. So gonna kind of keep an eye on the amount of stores that we've got. So that's one side of a frame, so we'll call that half a frame. I don't think we're gonna have much left at this point in the bottom box. I know there's some in the top. Because hopefully we're getting into some brood. Looks like they're drawing some new comb on this other frame. I'll have to check that out. Okay. Start keeping an eye out for the queen and for brood. I think this is all honey. Good amount of bees in here though, I'm not mad about it. Both sides basically look like that. I don't see the queen and I don't see any brood. No, that's all, they're just putting nectar in there. Sugar syrup. I am open feeding right now, so they're probably bringing that in. Got some sugar syrup out, about 200 yards away from here. Yeah, look at that. They're drawing new comb right there. That's amazing. I did not expect to find them drawing comb in February. All right, let me see if I could find brood or queen on this frame. Oh, yep, I see some brood. Let me see if I can blow them out of the way. All right, so there's some capped brood right under, well, they're kind of covering it again, but there's also some open larvae as well. Hopefully you can see that as they're crawling around. Oop, I almost knocked over that camera. Okay, let's check this side. I don't see any brood on this side. Also don't see the queen. You know, this hive has done really well in terms of brood management, considering it's an Italian hive. They went completely broodless at the end of November, just maintained a very small amount of brood in December. They went broodless completely again 2 weeks ago at the beginning of February, and now they're just keeping small patches of brood as we go along. I've seen at most a couple of frames with baseball size patches of brood, just kind of like you saw in that last one. So I know a lot of people, one of the downsides to Italians for them is that they overbrood in the winter and it makes it hard on them. Okay, so this looks like pollen. Kind of hard to tell again, but there's a frame of pollen, or some pollen in those cells. Sorry, I keep knocking into that camera. I'm just looking for the queen. Not seeing any phoretic mites, so that's good. Considering there's not very much brood, if there was a lot of mites, I would see some on the bees most likely. I have in the past, so when the first time they went completely broodless, late November, I did see bees with mites on them. So, and I immediately treated with oxalic acid dribble at that time. Ugh, that one's glued down. Come on. There we go. This is the light frame. They did not like that. So they're just putting a little pollen in here. I did not see the queen, so I'm going to have to make another sweep. Oh, there's a bee with pollen. Oh, she flew off. All right, let's trace back through here, see if we can find Mama. If I don't find her, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. We did have some recent larvae. I didn't see eggs, but there were too many bees covering the whole area. All right, where you at, girl? Oh, there's a bee right there with pollen. See, she's doing waggle dance. Waggle, waggle, waggle. Showing everybody where she found that pollen. That's so cool. I think that's the first waggle dance that I've caught on camera, at least on purpose. I see it quite a bit, but I haven't filmed it. My veil keeps knocking into that camera. All right. I'm not going to go back through these again, so I either find her right here, these last two frames, or I don't. I don't think she's going to be on these. Oh, there she is, right there. See her, the bottom of that right side of your screen, the bottom of the frame. I've got the frame turned sideways, but she's got the white dot on her. Liking what I'm seeing. We got a decent amount of honey. Got the fondant that we put on top. Between that, I'm not too worried about these this cold days coming up. They don't have a ton of brood they have to protect, so, and it's not spread across multiple frames. I actually only saw that one frame that had open larvae and cap brood, so they can cluster around that right next to honey and pollen. I expect this hive to build up pretty fast in the spring. I'm going to make a split off of it. It's going to be a walk-away split. I have 2 queens ordered. They're both supposed to be of VSH origin or genetics, but they're open mated. One is a Carniolan queen and one is a Caucasian queen. They're coming from 2 different places. One's going to be here in April and one will be here in May. But the first queen that I make is going to be from my line here. This line is Barnyard Bees is who I got this queen from. So I'm going to attempt a walk-away split. Once we start seeing drones, all right guys, we got that all finished up. Thank you for joining me as we went through that hive. It's always a good feeling when you get into your hive, especially coming towards the end of winter here, and see that they're still doing well. This is my only hive, and this is the only hive I started with, so I did what they say not to do, and I even recommend, if I were to do it all over again, even though this hive is successful so far, when I got it last April, I would have done 2. It's just smarter. If something would have went wrong with this hive, I would have lost. I wouldn't have had a backup hive. If it would have gotten weak, I wouldn't have had a hive that I could have shared, resources with. So I put all my eggs in one basket, so to speak, with this hive. But I'm just kind of stubborn like that. I told myself, you know what, if I baby it and I do everything right, then I can get them through winter. But I also know that sometimes you can do everything right as a beekeeper and still lose the colony. So I'm not unaware of that, but just stubborn. That's all there is to it. I'm just stubborn. So either way, I'm happy about it. So one other thing I wanted to talk about, I've got another video that's going to drop probably next weekend, and I'm going to do some modifications to the hive stand. Not really modifications. I'm going to get it set up for the other hives that I'm going to be putting here. In the middle is going to be a 6-frame nuke, and then on the other end is going to be a 10-frame Apiary hive. So be on the lookout for that, guys. If you have any questions for me about any of this or what you saw in this video, just let me know and I'll answer any of your questions. Again, thank you if you're here. I appreciate you.